Hey everyone. So for today's mini yoga session, I wanted to focus on the idea of energetic inflammation and how to identify it, and then having a little mini yoga session that will help to draw in some cooling effects for the nervous system and relieve some of that energetic inflammation if you're experiencing it. So, what is energetic inflammation? When we get hurt or wounded physically, our body will become inflamed, or when we're sick, when we have a virus or bacteria in us, to help and try to. It's a healing effect that happens, right? When we have a fever, our body heats up, creating inflammation to help kill that virus. Or that bacteria. When we get wounded, inflammation can be helpful in drawing more of our healing capabilities in the body to that area, create healing. Chronic inflammation can be a different story, but because then it's something that we really need to address in a more long-term, deeper looking kind of way, right? But for now, with this, just kind of identifying when you are energetically inflamed and what that looks like, and then what do you do about it? And when you have a wound of some kind, right, a physical wound, or let's say maybe a headache, it can be really tempting to just pop some anti-inflammatories and let it go away. But what most of us know is that it's really helpful to find kind of the root cause of it, or what's going on to make that headache happen, or to clean out a wound, to take some measures to make sure we're not going to make it worse, and that we're going to help heal whatever's causing it versus just popping those anti-inflammatories. And it's a similar thing with our energetic inflammation, right? We can notice we're inflamed if we're starting to get really tensed up. Maybe we're getting moody. Maybe our nervous system is just in, it's really charged. And everybody, maybe people react to that in a little bit of a different way, but oftentimes it can come out in anxiety, maybe feeling a little bit sad. You might be feeling kind of grumpy or snappy. You might be feeling it in your body, kind of jittery or tense. And so identifying, when that's happening, and rather than running to things that are energetic distractors, I'll say, which are kind of like our energetic anti-inflammatories, taking a minute to sit with it and have some ways that you can draw some cooling and invite that cooling into the body, rather than just trying to push away from it or distract from it. And really exploring that in that invitation, exploring it a bit deeper, and understanding what's going on, and why am I feeling this, and kind of like we talked about the last mini yoga session, to allow yourself to move into that space rather than just trying to move away from it as quickly as you can. So today I'm working with Sitali, which is a cooling breath, a tool you can use when you start to feel your physical body or your energetic body really start to inflame and heat up. And sometimes that can be useful energy, just like inflammation can be useful in our physical body. But it can also be something that needs to be quelled in a healthy way. So this form of breathing is a really nice way to do that. Finding ways of releasing tension in the body is a nice way of doing that. So a lot of the things we'll be doing today: jaw opening, neck releasing, really, and a little bit of hip releasing, important places that kind of hold a lot of tension for us that we can let go. And then other ways to release that, taking like an Epsom salt bath and letting that energy flow down the drain, connecting with the earth, going out and just putting your hands on soil and taking a few deep breaths and feeling that release of, whatever inflammatory energy you're feeling, letting it release into the earth and drawing the cool energy of the earth up into you, or if you have a waterway near you that's nice and cool, like a river or a lake, putting your hands in it, putting your feet in it, drawing in that cool quality, and then releasing the heat out with your breath. So hopefully that's helpful, and let's move into the practice. All right, let's begin in a comfortable seated position, making sure that you use something to elevate your sit bones if it feels uncomfortable for you to sit upright. So elevating the sit bones a little bit will help you to lift up through the chest in an easier way, and not put too much strain on your back muscles as you begin to build them to sit in this upright position. We'll start today with a form of breathing that is very cooling for the body. And it's physically cooling, so you can use it if the body is feeling overheated. You can also use it, though, for energetic cooling. So the way that you do it is to create a fold in the tongue. And I know this is genetic, so some of us will be able to do it, some of us won't, but there are two options. So creating that taco tongue by folding up both sides, or pursing your lips and creating just a small hole through the lips. And this is called Sitali, and again, it's really good for cooling physically or energetically. So knowing that this is a tool you can come to and rely on when you feel that heat start to build, and use this as a response to help cool that heat at an appropriate time. So making your taco tongue or pursing your lips, and then we'll draw an inhale through your tongue or through your lips, and then just exhale normally. And let's do that 6 times. So you'll inhale, draw it in, and then just a normal exhale. So go ahead, form the pursed lips or curl your tongue. Go ahead and keep going with that. You'll notice that as the air moves over the wet tongue, it draws cooling into your body. You can feel that coolness come into your mouth, and let that seep in through your body as you breathe in, and let that breath, that cool breath, flow through you. Let the heat then out as you exhale. Go and do 2 more. Hopefully you feel a little bit cooler now. The next thing we're going to do is jaw release. Something that often happens when we're feeling energetically heated up or a little tense is a really common place to tense is the jaw and the neck. So we're going to be doing a couple things here that help release the jaw, help release the neck. So first, the jaw. Drawing the heels of your hand right under the thumb, you're going to press that into the jaw right underneath the cheekbone, and then draw it down the sides of your face. So I'm pressing the heel of my hand right under the thumb into the space right next to my ear, right below the beginning, the height of my jaw, or my cheekbone. And then I'm going to draw it down toward the corner of my jawbone as I exhale. So let's plant both heels of the hand into that space right below the top of the cheekbone, and then take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, press into the top of the jawline and just pull the hands down your jaw muscle. It really helps to invite relaxation through there. Go ahead and do that 2 more times. Maybe sighing out as you release. 1 more. Drawing it down, sigh out the mouth. Really letting go through the jaw it translates through the body, especially in the hips. So it helps you to release the hips too. All right, from there, Again, sitting in your comfortable seated position, we're moving into side bend. So placing your left hand about a foot outside of your left hip, plant the hand, bend the elbow so that your shoulder comes down away from the ear, and then reach up and over with your right hand. Feel for wrapping that right shoulder in, but open the chest up, and then let go through the side of the neck. So your left ear is really releasing toward the left shoulder, as your right shoulder opens up, the side of your chest opens up, and then you extend away from that really grounded right sit bone, reaching over to the left. And let's take 3 deep breaths here. Just keep sighing out the mouth as we exhale, facilitating that release. If you were really feeling heated up here, you were doing this practice when you were feeling really tense or really emotionally inflamed, you could continue with that Sitali breathing. 1 more. On your next inhale, stay exactly as you are, just opening the right arm up and over as you exhale, reaching out toward the floor. Your right fingertips are 6 inches or so off the floor, and you're reaching out through the fingertips so that you feel your right shoulder extend away from the right ear. Keep bending into that left elbow. Let your left ear continue to release over to the side, and then feel that opening through the right side of your neck. And then check out where you need the opening here. If you bring your chin maybe down toward the floor a little bit, or you open up through the throat, notice where you need that opening in your neck. So we're all a little different there. And then once you find that place, hold there and breathe into it. Expanding your breath up into your neck, envision it moving into the place where you feel this tension the most. Another deep, full breath. And then on your next exhale, turning to the left, planting both hands outside the hip and squaring them as much as you can, and then begin to draw the chest around. You might be pressing into your left knee with your right arm. Let go through the back of the neck. So it's this twisted forward fold. Keep drawing shoulders away from the ears. Keep planting really strongly through the right sit bone, and then lengthening away from it as you come into that forward fold. Take 3 more deep breaths here. On your next inhale, coming up through center, use the heel of the hand against the forehead to lift your head up through to center. Coming into the other side, the right hand plants a foot or so outside of your right hip, and really keeping that left hip grounded, reaching up and over with the left hand, bend into your right elbow, and then wrap that left shoulder in as you roll the left side of the chest open. And extend out through the left fingertips, but plant down strongly through that left side as you reach to the right. Big deep breaths. Sighing out the mouth, stretching your jaw. Keep that stretching of the jaw, sighing out of the mouth. Keep that happening so that you can really invite that release of tension through your entire body, throughout this practice. One more. Next inhale, float the left arm open, but stay leaning over to the right, and bring those left fingertips 6 inches or so off the floor, and really reach out through the fingertips so that you're pulling the left shoulder down away from the ear, and keep letting your head release over to the right.
Keep rolling that left shoulder back. And then again, find this place that you need for neck opening. You know, if you're opening the chin up or maybe looking down toward the ground, notice where the tension begins to release in your neck. Hold there and invite that breath in. Stretching the jaw as you exhale. And on your next inhale, float that left arm up and over, bringing your hands parallel to your leg. And then pull the chest through, but keep that left hip really grounded down, the left sit bone grounded down. Let go through the back of the neck. Lengthen away from that grounded left sit bone. Take a few deep breaths here. Keep letting the shoulders release away from the ears. Let go through the back of the neck. Breathe deeply. Your next inhale, rolling up through the center. Bring the heel of the hand to the forehead and then press your head up to seated position. And then let's come onto the back. We'll cross the right leg over left and then take a hold of your leg somewhere between the knee and the ankle. And then you're opening the ankles up and squeezing the legs in toward each other. So they'll naturally squeeze in as you pull the ankles away from each other, the shins away from each other, whatever you're holding. And you'll feel a really nice opening through the right, the back of the right thigh, around the right hip potentially. Take a couple deep breaths in there. Sending your breath down into the space that you feel it the most. And invite that release. Switching sides, crossing left leg over right, taking a hold of the legs probably around somewhere along the shins, and then pulling the shins away from each other as your knees pull in toward your chest. And invite that opening with your breath. Oh, we've got some music. Keep breathing. On your next exhale, go ahead and release. Bringing your feet into Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, knees just open wide. And then bring your hands onto your belly. And we'll take 5 deep belly breaths in to close this mini yoga session. Breathe into your belly and just fill the breath up there. Opening up into the hands. Maybe returning to that Sintali breathing, continuing to draw coolness in if you need it by curling your tongue or pursing your lips and drawing that cool air over the tongue. you're reaching down, bringing your hands under your legs, helping your knees together, rolling over to one side, pressing yourself up, keeping a relaxed neck, coming up into a comfortable seated position and lifting your head up with your hand, drawing your hands to your heart, taking a deep, full breath in, having gratitude for these resources that you have to really take control of what you're experiencing in your body, how you're dealing with it. Know that you have the capacity to deal with hard things, and you have tools that you can rely on to help you do that. Namaste.